It only takes one bullet.
You ain't got the nerve.
Try me.
This town ain't big enough for 2 mainstream open world gacha games, so let's factually eliminate one of them. Let's begin. Combat. Which would you rather have? A Souls-like, high-intensity, difficult, sweat-inducing boss fight, or would you like to mix some colors?
But actually, I like mixing color.
Would you rather have this? Or this? I think it's 1-0 to Wuwa. Character design. Look at the 2 flagship units coming very soon to both games. Skirk versus Cartathea. And now let's compare their animations. Both are contextually very hyped. Skirk has been hyped for years. Cartathea has been hyped for months. If anything, the character that's been hyped for years should have better animations. So that makes it 2-0 to Wuwa. World design and world building. For an open world game, it is challenging to make a world design that actually keeps the players hooked for a long time, adding little bits of interactivity here and there and making the world feel more alive, and then showing off that world via world building is even harder. But look at the introduction to Renacita versus the introduction to Natlan. Immediately upon entering Renacita, you feel immersed in a different culture. Meanwhile, when you enter Natlan, you know their Archon is a dominatrix motorcycle lady. 3-0 to Wuwa. Stories and storytelling. Old Genshin would have wiped the floor with old Wuwa, however the times have changed. The likes of 1.3 and 2.2 have been individual nailed into the coffin of the story argument, and the dirt that buries the coffin is the character expressions. Look at the famous Jailonen and Mavuika, for example. Very expressive. $1 billion company right there. Meanwhile, Kuro are out here animating Brant so hard that we know he's drunk just from the way he's standing. 4-0 to Wuwa. Quality of life. And this is a big one, because this is one of the main talking points of why Wuthering Waves is a direct competitor to Genshin. Not only did Wuthering Waves implement quality of life sooner in their lifespan compared to Genshin, but in some cases doing it better. The best examples of this are respawning bosses, just not having the time-gated material farming feature, where you have to wait for a certain day to farm something. Can I just slow the video down and talk about how absolutely archaic and barbaric and stupid that feature is? The fact that you have to wait until a certain day before you can farm something is perhaps the most player unfriendly thing I have ever seen. Imagine waking up on a Tuesday and thinking, ah yes, I need to farm this material before it goes away tomorrow, even though I'm busy. And after Genshin puts out multiple surveys asking why the community doesn't like it, they still don't remove it. But anyways, let's continue. Proper artifact loadouts. That's a big one. Wuthering Waves implemented it first, and they implemented it better. What on earth is Genshin's artifact loadout? Not even a full-on loadout, it's just quick equip with more steps. I could list more, but...
He's already dead!
5-0. Graphics. Technically this one is very subjective, but I feel that we can all agree that the graphics of both games are absolutely worlds apart. For example, these are 2 in-game images of their respective regions. Tell me that Wuthering Waves does not look better. 6-0. Paimon. $7-0. Damn. If only there was a way to get rid of that really annoying voice and also skip the story that I don't care about. Oh, hang on, what's that? There's something called a skip button? I wonder which game has that. 8-0. Collaborations. That moment when your only collaboration with Horizon Zero Dawn is Aloy, the character's ass, and she just appears out of nowhere, versus simply announcing your collaboration with Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Mental how the announcement gets more traction than an already completed collaboration. 9-0. Monthly revenue. Oh, what's that? Wait, Genshin actually makes more money than Wuthering Waves. Oh, I guess 9-1? Wait, but hang on a minute. If the game makes more every single month, then why is the game not higher quality from more money being put into it? Oh, yeah! 10-0. Devs listening. Well, this one's pretty obvious, isn't it? Kuro Games versus Hoyo versus Genshin team. Talking to a therapist versus talking to a slightly thick brick wall. I know, my goat. Back in the dark days of 1.0, Kuro was fixing the game hours after a bug was reported. Not only that, but they listen to the community and give out quality of life updates that are actually meaningful because the community asked for them themselves. Can you say the same for Genshin? I don't think so. I'll be honest, guys. I've lost track of the score. Power creep and meta. Wuthering Waves shows some games out there how to do power creep right. For example, in Star Rail, it's too high. In Genshin, it's too low, to a point where you actually have reverse power creep. Very little of the new units that come out are actually more powerful than the same 4 that you put in every single team, while Wuthering Waves has had the very slightest increase in endgame HP, which isn't even enemy HP, mind you, it's just adding another enemy into the wave. In football, you would say they were run ragged. In the kitchen, you would say that they were burnt, but I think everyone can unanimously agree that they were cooked. I know this video may seem like satire, or it may not, depending on what your viewpoint is. I want to talk properly for once. Genshin Impact is slowly creeping up to its 6.0 update. A very big update, a huge milestone, right? You would expect for some of the features in the game to have been removed years ago. For example, the time-gated stuff, boss respawning, increasing resin caps, artifact loadouts that are actually proper. All these things that the game is missing has been asked for by the community for ages, but the devs show time and time again why they should not have that game. They should not be on that game. They do not deserve that game and the huge audience that it pulls. Genshin is undoubtedly the biggest casual gacha game out there because of its pioneering in the gacha genre in 2020 when we were all sat at home doing nothing. And because of that, it's retained and still is attracting a massive casual fan base. And without implementing these quality of life changes, without actually seemingly caring about the game, these players are being mistreated, and it's not right. The capturing radiant system on their banner is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that they don't even have a 100% rate up weapon banner is ridiculous. There are so many things wrong with that game, but the devs do not turn a single eye. They do not care to even listen. And going into 6.0, still showing this level of neglect and malpractice, the game is not going to get better. Meanwhile, Wuthering Waves is on the up. And that is my objective comparison of Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves. So if you did enjoy this sort of different sort of format, I tried to make it a bit faster while also edit it a bit more. If you guys did enjoy, then please smash like on this video and let me know if I missed anything. I'm sure I did. But to be honest, a 12-0 score is already embarrassing enough. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye for now.